fire came right through here, took out infrastructure, water distribution. Fortunately, they were able to stop the fire before it reached the house.
And the fire, when it hit the vine scrub, really slowed down, so we're very fortunate, otherwise it would have headed up towards other neighbours.
So yeah, we made the decision to get rid of all of our breeding stock, which was tough. In the end, I guess we paid money after cartage to get our sheep to market and offload them. So.
Peter here from Murgon Lions Club, and we're here with Frank and Jane from Firebreak Farm to talk about the devastating drought and fires.
I guess the most significant impact to us from drought would have been in 2019 when a severe drought impacted the entire country. And so we have enjoyed some good seasons since then. However, this year started off a bit drier, and then as winter came through, we weren't getting much rainfall at all. So as the year progressed and we were hearing long-term forecasts from the Bureau of a El Nino onset, we were starting to get worried. We had received probably only around 200 millimetres for the year.
Against an average of?
Around 700 to 800 millimetres per year. So 200 is not much. And as the months rolled on and rain wasn't coming and it was getting drier, and so we started to enact our drought management strategies.
And we were still in bounce back mode from the 2019, so we were still trying to recover from 2019. So we've been, that doesn't happen overnight, does it? It takes a few years to, and there's still those lasting memories that sort of infiltrate, I guess. They get stuck in your head and you think, here we go again.
And of course, the problem with drought is no one knows when it's going to rain. So, you have to make decisions based on the chance that it may rain soon or it may not. And I think that is one of the real stresses with drought. We decided that we had to destock with our sheep primarily. So we were purchasing hay. We were purchasing within budget still, although hay was getting harder and harder to find and more expensive. But moreover, the sheep, of course, as you know, will graze right down to ground level and actually pull the plant out of the ground ultimately. What was happening was our remaining paddocks were just being decimated by the flock, and it looked like to be able to have some ability to recover after the season broke, we really had to do something with the sheep. So we made the decision to sell all the breeding ewes. So now we've moved out of sheep. We still have probably, I don't know, 70 or 80 lambs or so that we kept, but longer term we will move out of sheep now because it's just so difficult to maintain the quality of the soil that we need to and to have that ability to recover after dry seasons.
And even with this little bit of rain we've had, that's enough or not enough?
We've had beautiful rain, and we've had about 25 mil of rain, and everything looks, it's got that tinge of green, and it's a lot softer now than it was a couple of weeks ago, but we're not expecting to receive much more, and we need to manage that unpredictability.
And we really do need a lot more rain. You know, the 25 mil was fantastic, but the soil moisture would have only I haven't actually dug it up, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be much more than 50 or even 100 mil down, and below that would be very dry soil. So we certainly need a lot more soaking rain before we can recover.
So the risk of fire is still there, and you had one close by fairly recently.
We did, Peter, and we were nervous because we are trying to keep as much feed on the ground as we can for the stock. So we were still holding over some older paddocks because they did have feed, not high quality feed, very dry, which of course was a fire risk in itself. So when the neighbouring fire was approaching, we were very nervous watching it. We would stand up on the hill all day and watch the helicopters dropping water on the fire. It came within 100 metres or so of us. So this is our farm here, and on the other side of this timber is the neighbour's property. And all this area here, this cropping, all this was lost. The fire came right through here, took out infrastructure, water distribution, and came up. Fortunately, they were able to stop the fire before it reached the house, but then it came through all this timber, and the helicopters were working in here and fortunately stopped the fire before it actually reached our place. And what's worth remembering is our neighbours had a terrible fire go through the same property about 2 years ago as well. So it would have come through all these back paddocks and entered the same forest there as well. So they have really had
Tough times.
some tough times.
Well, we're aware of, Peter, of those fires that have been happening out around Tara and Millmerran, and like the just total devastation. People have lost their homes. I know here during that last fire we had to prepare to leave, and even though we didn't have to leave, that impact of that and having to start packing up and opening up fences, and I just can't imagine how terribly difficult emotionally that is for people who actually lose their home and have to leave.
Lose everything, lose sheds, machinery, vehicles.
All the hay that they've just paid for. And I just think what you guys are doing is magnificent, is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, supporting local businesses to support local people is the way to go.
Peter, knowing that there's other people around helping out and supporting and giving us a hand up rather than a hand out, it's really important to people's mental health.
Some of the challenges that I've seen whilst being in these regions range vastly across where the different locals are. Now we've got to look at the challenges they face. For example, some people have gone through significant tragedies such as losing whole houses, sheds, belongings. Farmers have lost fences, the capability to feed as a result of their grass, their paddocks being destroyed by fires. Drought taken away water and resources, therefore having to find the finances to truck in. When we give to these fantastic events, it's not about just simply giving money, it's about giving hope. And in my view, hope is one of the most powerful words in the English language. It gives people the capacity to look forward. So as a community coming together and giving hope, giving back to people that have lost houses, sheds, food, stock and water, give them a reason to get up tomorrow and keep moving forward. So this event coming up, get out there, come together, reach out, support, and let's see how much more capacity we can build together as a community moving forward.